Welcome back to Virginia This Morning. Over the last few months, we've all been daydreaming about when our next trip or vacation will be. And we also wonder what traveling will look like in a post-COVID-19 environment. In this segment, a nationally recognized travel expert shares her professional insight. Take a look.
With stay-at-home restrictions easing, one of the big things on our mind is, will it be safe to travel again? And where might we go? We're joined today with travel expert Jeanenne Tornatore. She's got insights today on what we should be considering because pretty much, Jeanenne, every factor is going to look a little different. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you too. It's great to be here. You're right. It's really going to look a lot different this summer, not just when you head to the airport or go to a hotel, but in destinations as well. Even, people are really looking for those wide open spaces this year, those national parks, state parks, but even in those spaces too, you're going to see signage that's telling people how they should social distance in these areas.
Absolutely. And so many folks ended up hopscotching over a spring break or spring vacation that they really are thinking, can we this summer or should we be looking maybe further into the fall?
Right. Well, I think that a lot of people that are looking this summer are probably going to be traveling closer to home. It's going to be really the summer and maybe even the year of the road trip. More people are thinking that they feel safer and it's easier to hop in their car and go somewhere locally or regionally within a few hours. So certainly those road trips are going to be big. My biggest piece of advice, whether you're traveling this summer or into the fall, is that more than ever, you actually need to plan ahead and think about the details and what you want to do in your destination to make sure that they're open, that there's availability, and that it's going to meet your expectations. The fact is that a lot of attractions and areas are opening up, but they still have limitations on the number of guests and visitors that they're taking into these places. And a lot of them are reservation only. So you want to make sure that you're thinking about and checking into those things in advance.
And that's great insight too, because as we begin to plan for, and as you suggested, plan ahead for these destinations, we have to consider that the destinations on the other end have to plan ahead for us. They're operating differently too.
They are. And a lot of areas, everyone is still in their various states of reopening and their different phases and what they're doing. So kind of checking in and knowing what's happening locally where you're going is more important than ever. The good news is that hotels are reopening across the country, and I get a lot of questions about hotel, Airbnb. I've been telling folks, the good thing about staying at a major hotel brand like a Marriott is that, what they're doing is across the board. That if you're going to one of their hotels or their hotel brands, what you're going to get. And the experience is going to be more high tech, low touch. So you're going to see things like mobile check-in, keyless entry, and even for people that like to stay at those properties like the Residence Inn, the Fairfield Suites this summer for their families, they like to go because of things like free breakfast. Those types of amenities will still be there. They're just going to look a little different. So instead of having that buffet, it's going to look more like a grab and go type of option.
Well, you said wide open spaces. That's going to be appealing to a lot of travelers, probably closer to home, maybe day trips or trips that you certainly can drive to. If you are considering air travel, you're going to have to really put your mind to how that's going to work too, because that'll look completely different as well.
It's going to look very different. It's going to be a lot less contact when you get to the airport. So think kiosks and, you holding up your own identification and your own boarding pass, and the TSA agents, not touching those types of items even when you're going through the process. Another big question is how airlines are doing things differently. It really does differ by carrier. So do your research, go on websites, find out what each airline's policies are. A lot of things you're going to see across the board are wearing masks when you board a plane, extra sanitization between flights so you can feel good about that, social distancing on flights. Even some carriers are starting to implement temperature testing before you get on flights. But again, you can't say across the board those things are all going to look the same. So it's definitely worth checking out their policies before you go.
And Jeanenne, so many deals are starting to come on our radar. The email box is almost flooded with them. What should we be doing to consider those too? I guess that takes a lot of extra research and reputability.
It does. Again, I think that there are some great deals out there that could be worth taking advantage of. It's all really about your comfort level as a traveler of when you want to go. Do you want to take advantage of those ones that are this summer or the ones that are out even into the fall and the winter? The good news is that if you do want to take advantage of these deals, generally speaking, hotel and airline cancellation and refund policies are still pretty liberal. They're oftentimes major brands like Marriott are allowing you to cancel up to 24 hours before your stay. Airlines, it does vary, and again, hotel brands vary as well. So you want to make sure that you check out those policies individually before you take advantage of that deal. But that is why so many people are able to take advantage of them, because they can still feel pretty comfortable that if their plans change due to the coronavirus, they can still get their money back.
Peace of mind, because as we are daydreaming about taking these trips, you do have to consider that plans could change. So make sure that you're reinforcing that, and that will offer that peace of mind. Jeanenne, it's great to see you. Thank you. You
too. Great to be here. My pleasure.
I'd love to say happy travels. We'll start planning stringently right now and hope for the best. Thanks, Jeanenne. Thanks. And we'll be sure to include a link on our website later today, WTVR.com/BTM, so you can learn more about the insights that Jeanenne shared.